Om Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swami Tapaharine. We were discussing about Swami Vivekananda's vision of life. We were considering his great definition of life, which you are already familiar with. The life is unfoldment and development of a being under the circumstances tending to press it down. We were discussing about the different aspect of this statement. We already discussed about the unfoldment and the development. I am just recapturing what is already told, just repeating what I already discussed earlier class. Unfoldment refers to the manifestation of potentialities within us, mainly the potentiality, that is divinity, potential divinity, manifestation of potential divinity within us. The manifestation, what is already there. And development refers to growth, that is change that takes place in this physical and mental level. And the third aspect of this statement is development, unfoldment and development of a being. What is being? Being refers to three levels of beings. One is physical, another is mental, another is spiritual. Three levels of being. Physical being, you are already familiar with. That is body, consisting of different parts of the body, physical body, the gross body. That is one physical aspect of our being. And there is another, the subtle aspect of our being, that is mental being, consisting of all the senses and buddhi, mind, chitta, ahankara, all the four antakarana vrittis, inclusive of all these antakarana vrittis. This mental being is also called subtle body. This is the sthula sharira, and that is sukshma sharira, subtle body. Beyond this sthula sharira and sukshma sharira, there is that spiritual element within us, that is the real being. That spiritual being, that spirit within us, that spiritual element is to be manifested. That manifestation takes place through the appropriate change that refers to the physical and mental growth. So, the development refers to the physical and mental aspects of our being, and unfoldment refers to the spiritual aspect of our being. As the mental and physical development takes place, growth takes place, appropriate change that takes place within the system, personality structure, then what happens, it facilitates the manifestation of divinity within us, spirit within us. So that is why this development is most important. Unless the growth is there, physical growth is there. Physical growth means having a healthy body, sound body. It's not you have to become very pailwan like that. A strong body. Strong body refers to the strong nervous system, which can resist all the diseases, not being susceptible to all kinds of diseases and infections. That kind of strength is necessary. Unless Sri Ramakrishna himself says, the physical body also must be strong enough to contain the spiritual experiences that one undergoes. Without that strength of the physical body, it's not possible to progress spiritually, because spiritual progress involves a lot of problems and difficulties. Even physical difficulties also it involved. So strong reaction would be there. Mental and physical reactions would be there. The body must be able to sustain that one. So that is why physical growth also is necessary. And at the same time, mental growth also is necessary. Mentally also one must grow and strong. The strong willpower is to be developed. Without the strong willpower, it's not possible to undergo spiritual experiences, spiritual practices. So strong willpower is necessary. That also is to be developed, strengthened. Mind is to be strengthened. Mental body is to be strengthened. That is growth. That's also growth. And as the physical and mental growth takes place, then the spirit manifests. That is spiritual progress. The divinity manifests. So that is why the Swami Vivekananda says development, unfoldment and development. Unfoldment refers to the spiritual unfoldment, and development refers to the physical growth, mental growth. Now the body and mind belongs to Prakriti. It is a matter. Body is a gross matter, mind is a subtle matter, that's all. According to our system, Vedanta system, the mind also is a subtle body, subtle matter. So that is why these two belongs to the Prakriti. Spirit is pure consciousness. Spirit is pure consciousness, just opposite of the matter. The body and mind is matter, and spirit is consciousness. Chaitanya. One is Jada, another is Chaitanya. So Chaitanya, Jada are completely opposed to each other. So problem is here, evolution cannot be attributed to the body and the mind, because it is Jada. There is a change in the body and the mind, but that change cannot be considered as evolution. There is a change, natural change is taking place, that's all. It is a change. And evolution cannot be attributed to consciousness also, the spirit also, because there is no change in the spirit at all. Evolution means change. There is no change in the spirit at all. There cannot be. So evolution cannot be attributed to spirit also. Then where is the place for evolution then? That problem comes. Where is the place for evolution? So according to Swami Vivekananda, the appropriate change in the body and the mind facilitate the manifestation of divinity or the spirit within. There is no change in the spirit, only change in the body and the mind. And it is an appropriate change, a positive change, progressive change. That progressive, positive change will help or facilitate the manifestation of the divinity. For example, the lamp and the glass covering. The glass covering is full of soot, etc., full of dust. Then the light will not come out of it. So what you have to do is, you have to clean the glass covering it. When the glass is thoroughly cleaned and it becomes fully transparent, then what happens, light will come out of it, manifest. Otherwise, even the light is burning, it is there, but still it cannot manifest. You don't see it even. If the glass is fully covered with soot, you can't see it even. So that is why this physical and mental growth refers to the glass covered with the soot, dust, etc. And the lamp refers to the manifestation of the spirit within it. So that is how this appropriate change in the physical and the mental body facilitate the manifestation of divinity within it. So this is called evolution according to Swami Vivekananda. The appropriate change in the physical and mental being facilitating the manifestation of divinity within, spirit within, is what is called evolution. That is why Swami Vivekananda's famous definition of evolution is there. Evolution is nothing but a progressive reading of the spirit into the matter. Progressive reading of spirit into the matter. That is a evolution. That means progressive reading of the spirit into the matter means the spirit manifesting through the matter. So that is called evolution according to Swami Vivekananda. So that is why the development refers to the physical and mental being, and the unfoldment refers to the spiritual being within us. Now we move on to another aspect of the statement, that is circumstances tending to press it down. The life is an unfoldment, development of the being under the circumstances tending to press it down. That aspect. Circumstances tending to press it down. What does it mean? Adverse circumstances are there. Circumstances do not allow us to manifest our own potentialities. There are so many different levels of circumstances are there. Mental circumstances there. There are mental problems are there. Mental impurities are there. So many arishad vargas, what we call arishad vargas are there. Kleshas are there. Avidya, asmita, kama, krodha, lobh, all these things are there. Abhinimesha is there. All these circumstances are mental circumstances. All these things will hinder the manifestation of the divinity within us. So this is to be overcome. These are to be overcome. This is to be cleared. That is circumstances. That circumstance is always pressing it down. It is not allowing the spirit to manifest. So because of all this, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, etc., the avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinimesha, etc., all these things makes the mind so restless, it will not allow the manifestation of the spirit. So real spiritual sadhana is how to make the mind calm and quite free from all these different vrittis. So this mental circumstance is there, is not tending to press it down, press the spiritual being down. And there is a physical circumstances are there, the body is there, body has got so many its own problems are there. So that also is a great hindrance. Unless the body becomes very strong and healthy, it is a great hindrance. And there is another external circumstances are there. The social circumstances are there, environmental circumstances are there. All these different circumstances are there. Nowadays there is so much of circumstantial problems. Because for example, this social media is there. Social media presents a very great temptation for us, always dragging us out, not allowing to go within and see our own real nature. So that is how so many circumstances are. Now that development agenda is there. Development means it is a abhyudaya, this material and physical and the financial development. This development is taking place, making the man himself a victim. Though development is meant for the man, it is meant for the man, but man himself becomes the victim of this development. That is how much of mental problems are there, physical problems are there, diseases are there, so many things are there. So that is why this development, earlier, we always, when we were young, you were hearing so much about that savings, ulitaya. We have to save things, save the money, save the things. You should not be extravagant, and all that, so many hoardings would be there and all that. Nowadays you don't find such things at all. Nowadays is always, the slogan is spend more, buy more, consume more. That is the development agenda. You have to consume more, you have to spend more, buy more. So that is how the financial development takes place, industrial development takes place because of that. So that is the agenda, that is the trend that is there. So because of that, it's a consumeristic society. In that consumeristic society, spending, buying and spending and eating and consuming things, that is the main part of the main aspect of the life. So because of that, the spirit suffers. Spirit is tending to press it down. For example, this strong spring is there, strong spring, that if you press it very hard, somehow or the other it escapes and jumps beyond its height, jumps up beyond its height. So circumstances also are like that. It is pressing it down, but still, in spite of these circumstances, Swami Vivekananda says, you have to manifest our spirit. So that is how Swami Vivekananda says in another place, the awakening of the soul to its bondage and its efforts to stand up and assert itself, this is called life. This is called life. Success in this struggle is called evolution. So we have to awaken ourselves to the bondage. We are in bondage. We must realize that one. This body is a bondage, senses are a bondage, this circumstances is a bondage. It is forcing us to go out and enjoy the world, enjoy the sense world, increase more and more desires. All the desires are bondage. This sense enjoyment is a bondage. The senses are a bondage. The senses forcing me to see, the eyes, forcing me to see. It says, Swami Vivekananda himself says, it says, you have to see this one. I have to see. I have to hear this one. I have to hear. It says, you hear it. You hear it. Forces me to hear that. I have to listen to it. So like that, it is a bondage. We must realize that is a bondage. There are mental modifications are there. Different kinds of mental modifications are there. They are also bondage. You have to realize that is a bondage. When we are able to awaken to this bondage, unless we realize ourselves that is a bondage, then we will not be able to struggle to come out of it. So that is why Swami Vivekananda is a great struggle. So awakening of the soul to its bondage and efforts to stand up and assert itself. No more bondage. I have to be free from it. This kind of attitude, this awakening is called spiritual awakening. To realizing that is a bondage. Unless we realize, we can't struggle. We can't make any effort to come out of it. So that is why, yes, she says, circumstances tending to press it down. So many different kinds of circumstances are there, environmental circumstances, as I told you. These do not allow me to come out of it. Sri Ramakrishna says, the Divine Mother will not allow a man to be liberated because the play must continue. Play must continue, he says. Play must continue. The creation must continue. So that is why if all get liberated, what happens? There will be no creation at all, no world at all. So that is why the creation, this Jagat, to be continued, the creation of the world must be continued. Sri Ramakrishna says, Mother does not want us to be liberated. So that is why this kind of hankering for the sense enjoyment, going out, etc., is there because of this. So that is why this so many social circumstances are there to tending to press the spirit down, not allowing the manifest itself. So this is why, because of that, we normally don't be very serious about our own spiritual practices, manifestation of our own divinity within us. There is according to the evolutionists, there are two important concepts are there. One is adoption and evolution. Adaptation means adapting oneself to the circumstances or the environment in which we are placed. You have to adjust ourselves to the prakriti, the nature, in living in conformity with nature. This is one thing, adapting oneself to the nature. So animals live like that. They are completely, fully adapting themselves with the nature. Those who do not adapt themselves to the nature, live in conformity with nature, they will be destroyed. But Swami Vivekananda says, not adapting ourselves to the nature. As long as we fully adapt ourselves to the nature, we remain in the animal level. The moment we try to come out of the nature, we disobey the nature. According to Swami Vivekananda, evolution is nothing but disobeying the nature. When we start disobeying the nature, then what happens? Evolution takes place, growth takes place in different aspects of our life. For example, he himself, Swami Vivekananda himself explains this one. The nature forces me to live in the forest, eating whatever that is available there. Animal food or fruits or whatever that is available in the forest, I have to eat. Nature forces me to do that. But man refused. No, I will grow my own food, he said. So agriculture developed. Nature forces me to live without any shelter. Whether sun or rain or whatever that may be, you have to simply suffer and live that, just like animals are doing it in the forest. But man refused. No, I will not do that. I will build my own shelter. So man said, I will develop my own instruments. The industry developed. So many development takes place because when man started disobeying the nature. Disobeying the nature. But here, disobeying the nature does not mean destroying the nature. That is very wrong. Say, for example, baby is there. He is fully dependent on nature, on mother. Fully dependent on mother. Everything. In every aspect it is dependent. But slowly as it grows, it becomes more and more independent of mother. It stands on its own leg, eats its own food, it walks and runs, and slowly it gets knowledge and earning its own livelihood. So it becomes completely independent of mother. Mother wants it. And that child won't hate the mother. He will not go against the mother. He loves the mother. Similarly, you have to love the nature. Love the nature does not mean you have to completely dependent on nature. You have to be independent. As we become more and more independent of the nature, we love the nature more. It's not destroying the nature. Nature you have to grow. It's not correct. So what is happening, nowadays, it is destroying the nature. That kind of destruction of the nature is not destruction of nature is not evolution. Disobedience means being independent of the nature, not refusing to live in conformity with the nature. That is the evolution. Adoption, criterion of adoption. The evolutionist says criterion of adoption is usefulness, whereas the criterion of evolution is liberty, is being useful to the nature. Criterion of adoption is only useful to the nature. Nature wants it. And criterion of evolution is liberation, liberty. I have to be liberated from the nature, free from the nature. So that is how the evolution refers to the being free from the nature. For that, one needs a great struggle also. Struggle also is necessary to come out of the circumstances that tending to press it down. You have to there must be a great struggle. So there is another aspect is there, safety and growth. I don't know whether I have already told you this safety and growth. There is a tendency to be safe. At the same time, tendency is there to grow. These two are opposite to each other. If I want to be safe in the safety zone, within the safety zone, then what happens, growth is hampered. There will not be much of growth. So that is why I must come out of the safety zone. I must be able to face the risk of life. Then only growth is possible. So that is why, for example, there is a butterfly. One example is given for this. That is, butterfly is there, butterfly and caterpillar. Caterpillar is there. Caterpillar weaves its own shell around it, and within that it grows. And gradually what happens, after sufficient growth takes place, it gradually breaks open the shell and comes out of it and flies freely as a butterfly with all its colors, flying colors. One teacher was there. He was explaining the students about this process of caterpillar becoming a butterfly, and he placed a shell on the table, and a caterpillar was about to come out of it, and he told the students, you just observe how it comes out, don't do anything, just observe it. I will go out and have a cup of tea and come back. So he went out, and after 10 minutes he came and saw the butterfly came out, but it is not able to fly. It is fallen on the ground. It is about to die. It cannot fly. Then he was wondering, what happened? Why? Did you do something? No, they said, no, we did not do anything. No, you must have done something. Some mischief you have done. Otherwise it could not happen like this. Then one boy admitted, yes, sir, it was struggling so hard to come out, so I wanted to help it. So I took a scissor and went on cutting around that shell so that it could come out easily. So it happened like this. What shall I do? I don't know why it happened. That is the mistake you have committed. The struggle to come out was necessary for its growth of the wings. Because you deprived of that struggle, so it could not develop the wings. So now it cannot fly, it will die. So this struggle was necessary. You have to struggle hard to come out of the circumstances. Circumstances always tending to press us down. You have to struggle hard to come out of it. So that is evolution. That is how you have to. Without that struggle, nothing will happen. That's why Swami Vivekananda is always hinting that this life is something but a great struggle. Struggle is the sign of life, he says. So manifestation of our own potentialities, potential divinity especially, great struggle is necessary. Physical, mental, spiritual struggle, all the different levels of struggles are necessary. There is one Jeremy Rifkin, he says same idea he expresses what Swami Vivekananda's ideas only he is expressing as though Swami Vivekananda himself is speaking it is. So how we can see how the Swami Vivekananda's ideas are influencing the thought world of the West. We can see that. History of human mental development has been a history of removing the human mind further and further away from the reality of the world we live in. That is circumstance. So we have to come out of it. We have to go away from it. You should not get succumb to these circumstances. If you succumb to these circumstances, we are dead. So that is why Swami Vivekananda always says, evolution is nothing but the disobedience to the nature. You have to come out of the nature, then only evolution is possible. Spiritual evolution, all kinds of evolution is possible only when we are able to disobey the nature. Evolution is the law of life, Swami Vivekananda says. He says further, no man is ever satisfied. No man is ever satisfied. Man cannot be fully satisfied. Why? That is the cause of our misery. However much we may get, we remain dissatisfied only. However enjoyment you may get, however wealth you may get, however comforts you may get, still we remain unsatisfied. So that is why he says, that is the cause of our misery. But it is also the cause of all blessings. It is also cause of all the blessings, because we are not satisfied. That is the sure sign. How can one be satisfied with this world? How can one be satisfied with this world? Swami Vivekananda says, this world is finite, the man is infinite, spirit is infinite. This infinite is trying to manifest itself through the finite. It's not possible, he says. It's not possible. Time will come, it finds it is impossible to manifest itself fully through the finite. Through the finite means the body, mind, senses, etc. It's not possible. Because Prakriti is always finite. The body is finite, mind is finite, the senses are finite, everything is finite. The spirit is infinite. How can it manifest itself through the finite? So time will come, it finds it is impossible to manifest itself through the finite. Then it beats a retreat. That beating of the retreat is what is called beginning of religion. Beginning of religion. Then we try to grow spiritually. That is spiritual growth, spiritual evolution. That is spiritual life. So he says, how can one be satisfied with this world? It's not possible, because it is finite. If tomorrow this world becomes heaven, we will say, take away this, give us something else, he says. Even whole world becomes heaven, this world itself becomes heaven, and after some time he feels bored. What is this kind of thing? I don't want this one. Give me something else. I don't want this, he says. So that is how man cannot be satisfied with this world. Only satisfaction is possible only when we are able to remain within ourselves. Then only remain within ourselves means remaining within the spirit, in our own real nature. That is real satisfaction. Then only real satisfaction takes place. Otherwise it is not possible. We will never be satisfied. We will be satisfied. That is why Atmaneva cha santushtaha tasya karyam na vidyate. Atmaneva cha santushtaha. The one who is fully satisfied with his own self, for him no activities, no kartavya is there, no satya karyam na vidyate. There is nothing, no obligatory duties for him. He may work, but no obligation. Without any obligation he will do. Work is not a bondage for him. In such a way he lives. So that is how this satisfaction is only possible in the spiritual level, not in the physical level, not in the mental level. Only spiritual level, the real satisfaction is possible. That is what Swami Vivekananda says. That is why there must be so much of hard struggle is there to come out of this circumstance and remain in our own spiritual nature. Now we shall move on to another definition given by Swami Vivekananda. That is also very illuminating. We are lamps, and our burning is what we call life. We are lamps, our burning is what we call life. That means there is a lamp is there, the light is there, and that light always must be burning. Burning means what happens? Burning means Swami Vivekananda is hinting that we must always be bright, burning bright with knowledge, with wisdom, with knowledge and wisdom. We must always be burning bright, giving light to all other, shedding light on all other aspects of our life. So the Swami, as Swami Vivekananda himself was, as Sri Ramakrishna himself was, all great personalities were there, like this, So we are lamp and burning is what we call life. This indicates this one must be burn bright with knowledge and also. There is another very famous statement which is often quoted by Swami Ranganathananji in his lectures. Muhurtam jvalitam shreyaha natu dhumayitam chiram. Muhurtam jvalitam shreyaha natu dhumayitam chiram. So muhurtam jvalitam shreyaha. That means for a time being, one must be burn bright, shedding light brightly all around. Just for a moment, if you burn like this, it is much better than producing the smoke, living for a long time, producing the smoke. So that is a better than that is to live a short life, just like Swami Vivekananda did, Sri Ramakrishna did, and some of the great personalities did. Burning bright. There is a nice saying is there by Jalaluddin Rumi. Being a candle is not easy. In order to give light, one has to burn. In order to give light, one has to burn. One have to burn. We have to burn. So, what is this burning? What is this burning? Do lot of tapas, that is burning. Lot of hard spiritual practices, that is burning. Then what happens, our mind becomes very pure. For example, mind is like a wick of the lamp, which is full covered with soot, etc. It cannot burn properly, brightly. You have to clear it. Then what happens, it becomes light becomes very bright. See, tapasya is like that, making the mind pure through different kinds of tapasyas, meditation, japa, prayer, etc. All these things, we have to make our mind pure and transparent. That wick is to be cleared, the mind. Then what happened, through it may, because of the so many problems and difficulties, vicissitudes of life, because of wind of all these things, make the flame put off. So avoid that one. We have to put a glass cover to it. That is Shraddha. Shraddha must be there. That great Shraddha, intense, strong Shraddha must be there. Faith must be there. So like that, you have to protect this light. And this burning is what is called, Swami Vivekananda says, this burning is what is called life. So through this what happens, we will be able to give light to others. And how to attain this kind of knowledge and wisdom, that is very difficult. Through experience of different kinds presented before the life, we have to learn from those experience and we acquire wisdom, knowledge and wisdom. Through that knowledge and wisdom, you will be able to give light to the whole world, others also, different aspects of life also. There is a nice saying is there made by that saying Jesus Christ. He says, "You are the light of the world. People do not light a lamp and put it under the bushel, but on the stand, and it shineth unto all that one is within the house." So he says, you are the light of the world. He says, you are the light of the world. And people do not light a lamp and put under the bushel. Bushel means under covering with a vessel and all that. Though they don't do that. Instead, after they lighting the lamp, they put it on a stand. It will shed light, give light to all different directions. Like that they will place it in such a elevated place. They will place it. So like that, you have to remain like that. You have to shed light to others. You have to evolve yourselves. You are the light of the world, he says. So that is a great confidential statement. Boost our confidence. So Swami Vivekananda also says like this: we are the lamps, burning is what is called the life. We have to learn from the different kinds of experiences we have to face in our life. Swami Vivekananda says, the secret of life is not enjoyment. Secret of life is not enjoyment. Then what? But education through experiences. Education through experiences. We have to educate ourselves, learn things from so many different aspects of our life, so many experiences. There is a nice subhashita is there in Sanskrit. Acharyat padamekam syat padam sabbrahmacharibihi padam swamedeya jneyam shesham kalena pachyate. Acharyat padamekam syat. Acharyat, through the acharya, through guru, through teacher, we only 1/4 of the knowledge we gain. 1/4 of the knowledge we gain through the acharyas, through the gurus. Another 1/4 of the knowledge, sabbrahmachari bihi, interaction with other co-students. We learn so many things through the interactions, not through mobiles, not through social medias, not through internets. Through interaction, you have to learn things. That is most important. Not downloading the things from the computers and Googles, etc. That is not learning. So, we will learn so many things through interaction. That is very important. Very important statement it is. Through that, what happens, our human relationship also will improve. Through interaction with other things, other students. Our relationship will improve. This is very, very essential for our own mental growth, mental health. That is very important. So, through the interaction with the other students, co-students, we learn so many things. Another 1/4 of the knowledge. This is experience. And then another 1/4 of the knowledge we gain through our own swamedhaya, our own intellect, through our own buddhi. You have to learn. You have to think. You have to learn how to think deeply. Simply not swallowing. Swami Vivekananda says, and simply you are swallowing the things. You are not really thinking about it. Simply swallowing, what happens, you simply swallow the things, swallow all the knowledge and informations, it leads to intellectual dyspepsia, Swami Vivekananda says. So that is why we have to think deeply about the things. We have to question. We have to question why it is so, how it is so. This kind of tendency to question is a great thing. You must learn, they say, you must learn how to question. So this is questioning and learning, not Googling. I don't know. It can be whether that expression is correct or not. Downloading everything and simply swallowing those things. So Swamiji says, this through experience. There is another thing is, another 1/4 of the knowledge is Shesham Kalena Pachyate. So another 1/4 of the knowledge, Kalena Pachyate. As we go through our life, undergoing different kinds of experiences, through that we learn so many things. But many people refuse to learn from the experiences. There is a nice saying is there in English, very funny saying, experience is a comb which comes to man when he is bald. So what is the use of that one? No use at all. Another saying is there. Is only the lesson that we learn from the history is that we don't learn anything from history. So that is the problem. That means we refuse to learn from the experiences. When we have that open mind, only when you have that open mind, then only it is possible to learn through the experience. That is why that Avadhuta is there, story of Avadhuta is there in In Bhagavata, he had 24 gurus, they say. Not 24. It's only 24, it's only just a number, that's all. It's not that he had only 24 gurus. That means he was able to learn things from so many different kinds of experiences. Whatever he sees, he would learn from it. Whatever he hears, he would learn from it. So like that, through experience you have to learn. So that is why Swami Vivekananda says, you have to learn through the experience. Education. This is learning and education. That is why this life is a great education. It is not just the enjoyment. Many people nowadays think this is the time for youngsters think like, So when we don't enjoy now, when will we enjoy? When will you enjoy? So thing is, real enjoyment is not sense enjoyment, not through the senses. Real enjoyment takes place only when all the desires are overcome. There is a joy of life is there. There is a joy of life. Swami Vivekananda speaks about that. There is a joy of life. That joy of life is possible only when we are not bogged down by the desires. When you become slaves to our own desires, when you are able to overcome our desires, then only you will be able to have the joy of life. Life itself has got a great joy. Living a life, that life is a great joy. For example, this other day, Gautamananda Maharaj was there. He was full of joy. What is that joy? What is that joy? He lived that life. Life itself gives a joy. It's not the joy of the senses. It's not the joy of the desires. Fulfillment of the desires. It is life itself. Life itself gives us a great joy. Only that life must be fulfilled life. It must be fulfilled life. Not slavish life. Not slave to the senses. Our own desires and temptations and social medias, etc., mobiles, etc. Being free from all these things, there is a joy. When we have that joy, then that is a real joy of life. The real joy of life comes only when you are able to overcome the joy of the senses, that vishya, that prapanchika vishya, the worldly objects gives us. The secret of life is, according to Swami Vivekananda, is not enjoyment, it is the education through the experiences. Now, we shall consider another definition given by Swami Vivekananda. He says, the secret of life is the give and take. Secret of life is give and take. You have to give and also take, not just mere always taking and taking and taking. You must be able to give also. There is a nice story is there. Story of a giving tree. One apple tree was there. It is very healthy tree, producing a lot of apples. One person goes there and started begging the tree. See, I don't have anything to eat. I am very poor, suffering so much, nothing to eat. You please give me something to eat. The tree said, see, so many fruits are there. You can take all the fruits and eat them according to your fill. So he plucked all the fruits from the tree and took them and went on eating for some time. After a few days, he sold some of the fruits, and with that money also he enjoyed for some time. And after a month or so, he comes back to the tree and start begging, please, everything is exhausted now. You please give me something. Then the tree said, the fruits are all not there now. Now what you have to do? You have to cut all the branches. You have to you can cut all the branches and take and make a firewood and make your living. So he cut all the branches and took away, and he sold it as a firewood, and lot of money he got, and one more year he was able to sustain himself with that money. After 1 year, he came back to the tree again and give me something. Now I don't have anything to eat. And the tree said, no branches, only trunk is there. Trunk is, they can cut the trunk and take it as a timber, sell it as a timber. So he took it, and that also sold it and got a lot of money and lived for some time with the help of that money. Then again he comes back when the money is exhausted, and started begging the tree, see, give me something I don't have. Now the tree said, what is there to give? The stump of wood is there, only that is remaining now. You can sit there and rest for a while and go back, he said. See, this is only what happens, when you only take, not give, this is the condition. This is the condition. You have to give, and he took only, he took nothing, he gave to the tree. He could have developed the tree, seedlings, etc., and grown more and more trees, and he would have been able to sustain himself throughout his life with that. Without giving, only if one section of the society is always taking, another section is always giving, that society is an unhealthy society. So there must be, that's why Swami Vivekananda says, secret of life is always giving and taking. This is not only, Swami Vivekananda says, applicable to the individual, it is applicable to the nation also. Nation also. I will quote Swami Vivekananda's statement. That has been the cause that we did not go out, that we did not compare notes with other nations. That has been the one great cause of our downfall, he says. India degenerated because we did not go out and exchange ideas with other nations, other cultures. We confined ourselves within our own nation. So because of that, without any interaction, without any comparing notes and how the other nations are growing, what is it, or how the things are going in other nations, other parts of the world, we didn't care to know that one. So because of that, the degeneration took place. Swami Vivekananda says, same idea is reflected in one of the Muslim historian of Middle Ages, Mughal period, Al-Biruni. He is a famous Muslim historian. He speaks the same idea as if Swami Vivekananda himself says. Same idea is reflected in his statement. He says, Al-Biruni says, the Hindus believe that there is no country but theirs, no nation like theirs, no kings like theirs, no religion like theirs, no science like theirs. If they travelled and mixed with other nations, they would soon change their minds. For their ancestors were not so narrow-minded as the present generations. The ancestors moving about like anything. They will go out. There will be so much of interaction between the Greek culture and the Hindu culture, Indian culture. There is the Greek scholars also would come to India. Indians also go there to learn from the Greeks. There is a lot of interaction was there earlier. But afterwards what happens, the degeneration took place because of the narrowing down, not to cross the ocean. Kalapani, not to cross the Kalapani. That kind of trend came, and because of that, degeneration took place. Indian degeneration took place. All the nations came and invaded India and made India a slave country. So that is why Swami Vivekananda says, and Al-Biruni also echoes the same idea. So Swami Vivekananda says, secret of life is to give and take. So that is why we must always be ready to give, and also receive also. Without receiving something from others also we cannot survive. At the same time, we have to give also. Only taking and not giving, etc., is not a very healthy sign. It is a sign of unhealthy society. So we shall consider another definition in the next class. Same things. Vision of life according to Swami Vivekananda is continue the next after 1 month. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.